Happy Friday, y'all. I hope y'all have a beautiful Friday today. Welcome to Tantrum Knows, 1,000+ content creator, one of the family. See, give it a couple minutes, see who shows up. See some people show up. I got a couple things that I wrote down. I got lots of stuff, y'all. First, I want to apologize to everyone that I haven't made to y'all's channel. I've been super busy, and I started this 90-day challenge for my lives, right? And so the 90-day challenge, right, I wasn't even ready for it. That's why I kind of took the challenge, because, you know, when you do lives and videos, you want to have strategy, right? And so I started learning my strategy for my videos, but they're not all the way there yet. I still got to work on my branding and a couple other things, right? But you got to do the same thing for your lives too. So like how she's like, Monday through Sunday, you come up with different names for different things and you talk about different stuff, right? I just been so super busy. It's hard to plan everything and organize everything the way I would like to. I actually fell asleep last night, waiting for I Cherish Church. I think it went on while I was sleeping, but yeah, I gotta quit overworking myself. I watched like 50 videos in like the last 3 days. Well, this will be the third day. So today I'll make sure I go check out Coffee No Cream, Jones Junk Journal. She got a lot of gifts and she got like an 18-minute video, but that's what's up. Gifts are good. On the other side of 50, I'm going to check out that channel. There's a name I don't know how to pronounce correctly, so I gotta go figure out how to say his name correctly, but I want him to join our community too. He's from Africa, y'all. And so like I want people to be from all over. From every state. We gotta get people from every state up in here, man. Every state, every country, and we gotta spread our talents. And everyone can be put in a position to do stuff. And when people do meet up, you know, you got people that know a little bit of everything. So with all of us together in our community, we can learn how to do everything. Like anything we need to learn how to do. And then with AI technology and the things coming, who's gonna be able to stop us? We're gonna be getting that money, y'all. And so a couple of people asked me a couple of questions they wanted to know. First question they asked was, you know, I started a YouTube channel, so people were like, well, why? You know what I'm saying? How did that come about? So when I got on YouTube, I didn't even know you could get paid for YouTube or nothing like that. I was thinking in my head, you know, I could take pictures of the kids when they're younger and stuff, and there will always be a memory or something like that. But then I started seeing that you can make money on YouTube. So I'm like, oh, okay, you can make money on YouTube. But I was looking like, chances of making money on YouTube ain't that good. But then now the chances are easy. YouTube's about to go on easy mode because it's a competition now. And they're already generating a lot of money. So if they could generate, the more money they could generate, the more money they could push back out. That's just business. They're gonna take some or whatever. But instead of going to college and going back to be a motivational speaker, I decided that if I use my YouTube and start doing speeches on YouTube, it'll build a portfolio, right? And when you build a portfolio up, no matter what kind of craft you do, whether you're doing hair, tattooing, motivational speeches, it don't matter what you're doing, you gotta build a portfolio up if you wanna succeed, right? And then you wanna take care of things the correct way. Like if you try to take shortcuts, yeah, sometimes you might get it off, but a lot of times it's not gonna be done correctly, you know what I mean? So that's what I was saying. So I started the YouTube channel just so I could teach the little homies, and when I start giving speeches and stuff like that, when I go to talk to the more upper class people about talking to the youth about self-destruction, then it will be like, well, what do you know? And then I can show them what I know. You know what I mean? The proof is in the pudding. This is what it is, and this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, too bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not teaching my little homies how to self-destruct. I'm teaching them how to get money. I'm teaching them how to draw, how to tattoo, how to think outside the box. You know what I mean? I challenge y'all to think outside the box. So That was the first question. And then the second question was, well, you know, when you get this, going, where are you gonna go from there? Well, I got a couple people that's done TED Talks, right? I don't know if any of y'all know what TED Talks is, but TED Talks is a good resource to get your name out there. So when you do want to start making good salary, then that's what it is. But see, I make good money just doing the tattooing. So I feel like if you could teach people a team, right? So what I'm doing now is I'm making a program teaching the little homies how to draw, how to tattoo, how to do other things. You know what I mean? I want them to learn how to do t-shirts, shoes, etc. like that. I want people to be their own boss. I challenge them to think about the future. You know what I'm saying? Is the stuff, the time you're investing in your job, is it worth it, or is your job just gonna get replaced by AI and everything else going on? So, you know, you got to think about it. So the one little chick, she's going to go work with the machines where you can't have no metal around. She said she thinks her job's going to be okay. Greetings, snapback. Man, I fell asleep. First, I fell asleep. Yesterday morning, I fell asleep waiting for my tattoo appointment to show up, right? Because I was running off no fuel. They woke me up. And then I fell asleep last night, too. While I was watching I Cherish Church. So I did get about 25 videos in the last 2.5 days, right? And then so today is a Friday, which is usually a real big money day for tattoo artists. But I've been so busy that I haven't even got on there to get my appointments put together, right? Because I don't like to inbox people at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, because I feel like it's inappropriate and disrespectful for a tattoo artist to be inboxing their clients at 2:30 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Them are the weird, creepy vibes that you don't want to give off. You know what I'm saying? So when people see me and they talk to me, they know it's all love and I'm trying to show them something. I even give them extra breaks during tattoos. Like yesterday, man, they were lined up, man. People didn't know what was going on at my house. They thought it was a giveaway. I know my girl was upstairs like, oh man, what is going on down there? But the good thing is nobody steals, everybody's respectful, and I control my own atmosphere in my house. When I tattoo people before they come, I always tell them to make sure they eat and drink before you get tattoos, right? Because your body got rights, and when you don't give your body rights, bad things will happen, right? And so I feel like I tell them to eat and drink before they come, and then I tell them that they can bring one person and no kids. I got a fat dog. Like I said, if y'all hear snoring, that's my dog in the background. And he might get up because he hasn't got up for some hours. So I know he has to use the bathroom. But then if that happens, then I can show y'all the house a little bit, right? And show y'all how cheap the cost of living in Ohio is. Because I kind of want to show people, because a lot of people out here where I'm at in Canton, Ohio, if you ain't never been nowhere else, then people complain all the time, oh, this is a terrible city, you know, they can't afford their bills, this and that. Man, go to New York, see how much that costs. Go to California, go to some of these bigger cities, right? I live in a big house and only pay $700 a month, right? So that gives me a chance to stack my money so I can try to get ahead in life. That's how I look at it. Snapback Coach says, it's so many in the community, it's hard to get. Yeah, it is hard to get to everybody, for sure, right? And so people, they get mad because I create jobs for people, and then I'm not thirsty. Like, I'll turn money away. Like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's more to life than money. I always tell people to collect gold, because if the economy crashes, you want to have some gold. Everyone's talking about guns and stuff, right? Getting ready for a war. Man, we are evolving backwards as hell, man. As smart as we are, we're just not doing it, right? So I feel like even my job, AI, tattooing, I tell people, right? Like in the near future, you're gonna be able to put your arm through a machine, and it's gonna be able to give you a tattoo, right? You'll be able to just put your arm through, and it'll give you a tattoo in like 1 minute perfectly. You know what I mean? All lines, all color, everything. And it's gonna be cheap, right? So it will replace someone like me. So I gotta think outside the box and think about how I'm gonna get that machine. So when it does come, then it'll make my job easier. Instead of replacing my job, it will make my job easier. Then I'll be able to do a lot more tattoos and still make money. You know what I mean? So you gotta stay on top of whatever you do. You gotta stay on top because, like I said, in America, they will teach you how to be the best doctor ever. Right? Go to school, go to college, put you in debt. If you're a good doctor, when you start working at the hospital, they're going to need you there 20 hours a day, 7 days a week until you're 90 years old, if they could get that out you, because they need good doctors, right? And there's a lot of people that need good doctors, which is understandable, right? But what they don't teach you is, you go to school, you go to college, you go in debt, you go start working at that hospital, they need you, right? So what you're supposed to do is save your money up, learn your craft, whatever it is, and then you can open up your own hospital somewhere else, right? And if you open up your own hospital somewhere else, you know what I'm saying, you'll be able, when you become that 90 years old, instead of helping 100,000 people, you'll be able to help 1,000,000 people, etc., you know what I mean, etc., and have way more money to show for it, and accomplish a lot more, and being able to leave your family with stuff. That's how I look at stuff, right? So they said the next question was, what's the scariest situation you've been through? And I asked them, what do you mean tattooing? Because we were talking about tattooing. And they were like, yeah, tattooing, but jail too, right? So tattooing, the scariest situation I've been into, it wasn't really scary to me, but that's when I realized I was more scared of, like, because I can't swim, so I don't want to be in the big bodies of water, and I'm afraid of heights, right? So this one time I pulled up at the projects to do a tattoo, and when I got out the car, the security guard stopped me, and he was like, who are you and what apartment are you going to? So I looked at him, I'm like, man, I ain't got to tell you nothing. I started cussing him out. Called him Craig, top-notch security of the world. I started clowning him, right? So he told me to leave. So I pulled out the projects, parked my car, and walked back in the projects and went and did my tattoo, did my work. When I was leaving, he started walking up on me when I was walking towards my truck. And I turned around, he's like, didn't I tell you not to come up in these projects? So I got my tattoo bag and stuff, and I'm like, man, look, bro, don't walk up on me like that, man. So he started reaching for his slapstick. So I'm like, oh, man, he's going to reach for his slapstick. All I'm doing is leaving the projects with my tattoo bag. I'm not up here selling drugs, doing drugs, causing no problems. I'm just doing tattoos. So I'm like, oh, look, bro, don't walk up on me with that slapstick. So he kept walking up on me, cussing. So I put my tattoo bag down. I pulled out my knife, right? Because I'm a felon, I can't carry guns and stuff. But I know how to use a knife from being in prison so long, right? So I grab a knife. I'm like, all right, this is what you want to do, man. So he started swinging the slapstick. I started swinging the knife. So now I'm just picturing this from the outside looking in, like, oh, man, look at these two crazy dudes. You know what I'm saying? Dude swinging the knife and this dude swinging the slapstick. Well, this is when I found out I am scared of something, because he pulled out his flashlight and he started going like that, blinding my eyes while he was swinging that slapstick. Oh yeah, I walked away kind of fast. You know, I ain't no scary type person, but if I can't see and you're swinging something that I know that's gonna hurt me real bad, I'm out of there. So that was the scariest situation I feel like I've been in tattooing. I've been in a lot of situations. I've had people pull guns on me and stuff like that, but that type of stuff don't scare me. Nah, I'm not trying to open a hospital. What I was saying was our education system will teach you how to be a good doctor, right? And they'll keep you there forever, right? Until you're 90 years old, and you'll work there 20 hours. They need you as many hours as you can. But our education system, they don't teach the little homies that they could go to school for 10 years after they got their degree, and they could save up money, and then they could open up their own little hospital and help even more people out. Because now you're hiring people and you're creating jobs. Plus, you're helping more people and creating more doctors. That's how I look at it, right? So then, the next scary situation is a jail story, right? And I've been in race riots. I've been in some pretty messed up situations, but one of the funniest type one is it's a funny, scary one, right? Because you know, like you're around a whole bunch of tough guys, everyone's stabbing everybody up. I'm a gang member, I'm young, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? I don't got no family, no one to go home to. Um, can Roger say you have to know when to walk away to run? Oh yeah, yeah. My mom used to tell me, look, when it's stuff like that, run. Don't walk, run. Because you could always come back and mess them up another day, right? But so back to the prison story, right? So I get to Lorraine Correctional Institution in Ohio, right? It's an intake prison, right? So there's people from all over different cities, everything, right? So I'm like, man, I wonder what kind of celly they're about to give me because you can't choose your celly there. They just throw you somewhere, right? Yeah, they don't teach you business for sure, right? So when I get in my cell, there's this dude, he come in there, big dude, right? He was a Greek, an Orthodox, and he used to go door to door and he used to teach people about religion and stuff, right? And so I'm like, oh, how you doing? He was real cool and stuff. But they had him on the top bunk, and they had me on the bottom, and this dude's like 400 pounds. So I'm like, oh, nah, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go on and jump up top. Plus, I'd rather be up top anyways, because if someone running up in there, I might have to hurt somebody. I'm 42. I'll be 42 in August. Next month, 42, Virgo baby, August 28th, right? So, um, so dude comes in there and he's telling me how he's not even a criminal. He owns a store. How you doing, Lushana Success? Good morning. And he tells me that he used to go door to door and he teaches religion. So I'm like, oh yeah. So you know, at the time I studied religion a lot, Islam and Christianity. You know, like I read the Bible probably like 15 times straight from the front to back, and the Quran from the back to the front or front to back, depends on how you look at it, right? But he's telling me like he's a good dude, right? But he's trying to explain to me that if you're a holy person and stuff, that God will allow you to speak in tongues. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting, right? So this dude starts speaking in tongues. So I started getting kind of creepy vibes, like, oh man, I don't know about this. So this is the first night in the cell, right? Yeah, I remember you said that snapback that your son was 42, right? So I tell the big dude, look, man, you're like 400 pounds. You gonna want to sleep on the bottom, I'm gonna sleep at the top. So I hop on the top cell in the bunk. I'm getting ready to go to sleep. I'm thinking my day through. You know, it's the first day in this dumbass prison. Excuse my language. All of a sudden, now remember, this is a holy person, right? Bro, this dude started snoring so loud, like I was half asleep, half woke. Man, I woke up. I thought I was in the zoo, right? Like my nerves. I've been, like I said, I've been in race riots, seen people get stabbed to death in front of me, all kinds of stuff. Man, I was so scared. Like I got to get up out of here. This dude was just speaking in tongues, and you can't go nowhere because you're in this cell with this cat. So the next morning at breakfast, everyone was talking about, man, did you hear that last night? I'm sitting there like, oh man, I don't know how long I could do this. And you're not allowed to go talk to the police and tell them, look, man, the dude snores, I got to go. That's against violation of the code for sure. You know what I mean? People a trip. Yeah, people definitely are a trip. So like I was telling people, I had answered a couple questions. Why did I start YouTube, right? And basically I started it just to build a portfolio, showing people what I could do, what I've been through, speaking to the little homies, right? And I don't really care about the homies my age. Like the city I'm in, there's only 70,000 people. And I know people from 14 years old all the way to 90, right? Like the whole population in the city, right? And I don't care about none of these OG Crip homies, blood homies, none of that. I tell them real quick, I'm here to teach the little homies, and if you got a problem, then that's your fault. I'm not arguing with nobody. Messenger, none of that. You know what I mean? Like, people are very disrespectful, and the older homies, they be out here drunk on cocaine, trying to give their little homies the bag. I'm out there, these little homies are 13, 14 with guns. I'm trying to teach them the right way, but there's 6 other OG people who are here getting drunk, selling dope, you know what I'm saying? Giving it to them. Like, so who are they gonna listen to? Me or them, right? But so it's kind of like a war with good and evil. But the only good thing is most of them dudes that sell dope and stuff, they respect me, and they always tell the little homies, yeah, you better watch that dude. That dude used to be crazy, you know what I mean? But it wasn't that I was crazy. I was mad at the world. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday on my live, I told a little bit of my story about the first chapter of my book and why I didn't trust the police, right? And it's kind of deep, right? And I can't figure out I can't find it on Google, right? Because Google wasn't there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to probably call down to the police department and find out the information, because something bad happened to my mother when I was real little, and it changed my outlook on the police. Like I said, when you're a childhood innocence is when you play cops and robbers. It was more fun to be the cop because you got to chase the robber, right? And that all crashed in on me, you know what I mean? When you find out the cop was the bad guy and the badge lost its shine and people were crooked. But that's another whole story that I'm writing. I was gonna bring some more chapters out and stuff like that, but now I gotta get it all put together correctly and stuff, right? Yeah, I turn my life around for the better. So I tell people, what's harder? What do you think is harder, reprogramming yourself or reprogramming your circle? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, for example, right, one of the tattoo clients I had yesterday, right, I had this dude, right, a real close friend, right, and he started doing drugs and stuff, right, and so I got away from all them people, right? I'm like, oh yeah, I can't be around that type of environment. And I'm not saying he wasn't a good dude, because he was a good dude, had a good heart and everything. But he was at my house like 2 years ago, and he just got up and walked out my house. I told him, man, you're forgetting your stuff in there. He had a beer, he had his little vape thing. I don't know, he had a couple things, right? And he was like, oh, I'll be back. But he acted like he didn't have a problem. But he seen that I didn't drink. All I do is smoke weed time to times, right? And I'm trying to cut back on that, right? So he felt like I wasn't the same person, and I'm not. I'm not the same person. I changed for the better. I had to reprogram self. I feel like anybody should reprogram self, and I challenge anybody to look outside the box, right? You got to think outside the box, right? Don't just have some. Well, how I explain it is, don't just shit in my hand and tell me it's fudge, right? Like, someone can usually shit in your hand, like, here, Tantrum, eat it. It's chocolate. And I'm like, bro, I just seen what you did. It's not chocolate, man. You're tripping. And then the homie's like, nah, bro, it's chocolate. I'm telling you, look, smell. I'm like, man, get up out of here. Now, if I end up falling for the OE dog and he convinced me that it's chocolate, you know what I'm saying? And then all my life I'm eating dookie thinking it's chocolate, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people basically got to wake up, and that's where the 2 + 2 = 5 comes in. You kind of get what I'm saying without me using so much inappropriate language. I try my hardest not to use inappropriate language because I feel like only ignorant people use that. But I don't want to be squared neither. And the way I talk to these little dudes, I kind of got to talk to them in their language, right? Like, sometimes you can't, I use this all the time too, you can't just tell the homies that the stove's hot. So the best way, you got to show them. You got to grab their arm and drag them over the stove, but don't burn them for real. Like, I'm not promoting nothing like that. But you show them that the stove's hot. So then when you leave, they don't even want to go buy the stove. But if you just tell them, hey man, don't touch that stove, the stove's hot, and you leave, they're all going to be thinking about that stove. Yeah, I got to get away from all the trash people. There's people that come in here sometimes that get tatted that, man, look, so I give cards away, right? So I give cards away to the people that spent money and do tattoos. And if you spend over $100, which ain't much, right? I'll start putting your names on cards, right? And then once they get filled up, right? I give out tattoo parties. I just do miscellaneous stuff for people. Cash App. My girl's candles. She makes beautiful candles. I'll give some candles away, wax melts and stuff like that, right? So I try to keep things motivated. So what I did is I started the deck of cards for my YouTube, and what I could do is I could give out Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Because like some of y'all that are already monetized, I'd rather give you out Cash App than super chat stickers and stuff like that, because I feel like it's like, say for example, Luciana, you're monetized. Let's just say I sent you Cash App, like $20, like 2 or 3 times a week, right? And there's people in our group that don't have the money to join the super chats and stuff like that. So then you'll be able to give out prizes like, who wants to be a part of the group? Because I feel like as soon as we get this super chat thing really going all the way, it's already going, but as soon as it all the way takes off, we're already going like this, right? But we want it to go, you know what I'm saying, and keep going, right? It's gonna be like a trend, right? And especially with the new YouTube updates coming and stuff, we're gonna figure out how to help each other, right? Because we have a good community. Yeah, so I use the cards because a lot of people think they're card sharks, right? And I ain't no card shark no more, but I used to know how to play cards really, really good. Like when I came home from prison, I didn't even have to get a job. I went to the halfway house, and there were so many little youngsters that was out there on the streets, and they mixed us in with the people coming home from the people that might go. And these little dudes thought they had all big money, walking around with 1,000, 2,000, and it's nothing to play $100 a game in cards. So once people seen I knew how to play cards, it was over with. I didn't even have to get a job. But, cause I don't like to be told what to do. How you doing, Rising Phoenix? Good morning. I hope y'all all have a beautiful Friday, man. So what I did with the cards right here, so how I do with the cards and the tattooing, so I'm gonna do that with my YouTubers, right? See, Snapback, you know what I'm saying? Miss Do It Yourself, Rising Phoenix, Coffee No Cream, right? So what I'm doing is the people that people that showed my thing, I'm gonna get one of these boards that I be putting my tattoo stuff on, and I'm gonna start putting cards on it, right? And let me think. I could probably make 2 decks of cards fit on one board, right? So that would be like 100 and some subscribers, right? So what I want to do is just get a whole bunch of supporters for real. The real people that show up are going on cards. If you just come and go here and there, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to get a card. You know what I'm saying? And when I get it filled up, that's when I want to start giving out Cash App prizes and stuff like that. Yeah, so working for yourself is always the best thing. But like I tell the little homies, like 16 years old, 17, yeah, you got to work hard for a couple years. But I tell them, you know, like I encourage them to shoot tattoos. I always tell them, you can shoot tats, you know, it's good money. And they always see I'm busy and making money. So I tell them my story that when I was 19 years old, I'll be like, how old are you? And they'll be like, 16. I'll be like, well, guess what? When I was your age, I couldn't even do this. And I'll draw this right here. Right? Just a simple heart. When I was 16, I couldn't do that. I mean, I could probably trace it and stuff, right? So they look at me like, what? Right? And so I tell them, look, if you really want to be a tattoo artist, right? Not only is technology better, you got YouTube that can teach you everything. The tattoo guns are easier. Everything is simpler, right? So they're like, yeah, but I'm not that good at drawing. So I said, see, that's what I'm here for, right? So all you gotta do is see how I drew that. All you gotta do is print something out and trace it, right? And then after you trace the stencil on the back of the thing, you put it on your arm, and guess what you do? You trace it again. So then I tell little homies, you tell me you don't know how to trace? And they be like, I think I could trace, right? So you build their confidence up and let them know, like, you got this. You know what I'm saying? You got this, you got this, you got this. Because a lot of these little dudes and little girls, you know what I'm saying? And there's probably people in our community too that they like cutting on themselves. You know what I'm saying? I've never been a cutter. I was always the one that just self-destructs. You know what I mean? What tattoos? All right, so I'll show you this tattoo, right? So when I was in New Mexico, this is the Pillsbury Doughboy, right? I did that one on myself. That's why I showed it to you, right? And it's that I did that in 2006. So I went to New Mexico and I was trying to switch my life around and stay out of prison and stuff like that. So my dad, he was out there and he was like, well, if you dig this hole, I'll get you a tattoo gun. Man, I talk like that because he's Middle Eastern, right? So I started digging this hole. I had my little brothers out there. Man, it would have took us like 24 hours of digging. I told my dad I ain't doing it. So he ended up buying a tattoo gun anyways. But I didn't like New Mexico. I felt like I was back in the Twilight Zone or something like that. I don't know how to explain New Mexico, right? And so when I came back, I drew that Pillsbury Doughboy. And when I got back to Ohio, nobody really wanted that tattoo. So I said, I'm going to do it on myself. And so I did it on myself. And so, I don't know, I just tell everybody, like, I think they did a TED Talk already talking about how everyone could draw, and he shows people, right? So I feel like that's pretty cool. When you can show the youth that they can do something that they think they can't, then it opens up their minds to believing in other things that they thought they couldn't do. And so that's what I try to do. I just challenge them. You know what I'm saying? I tell them, look, man, you know, Christopher Columbus, they teach y'all in school that he discovered America, but when he got here, he started slaughtering Indians. Like, so it contradicts itself in the same sentence. Snapback Coach said, I think tattoos hurt, so, but they have real nice ones. I have one street tattoo, and it's a C. Yeah, so I think it depends on where you get the tattoo. So people always ask me where tattoos hurt the most. I feel like they hurt right here on your wrist. There's a lot of nerves right there. Right here where your elbow folds, it hurts. Right here. But I've had people cry getting tattoos on their foot. And I'm light-handed. I'm not heavy-handed at all. I'd rather have you come back in 3 weeks and me touch something up and darken something up or something like that, right? But yeah. Then probably the private parts probably hurts people, but like I said, I don't shoot on hips and chest and ass or none of that stuff. So I'm not gonna put myself in that type of situation. Like, no. Alright, so I started telling a story yesterday about being biracial, right, and how confusing it was, right? Being around everybody in different cultures, like, and so for example, right, in America, when your parents speak to you, you're supposed to give them eye contact, right? In Pakistan, where my dad's from, when your parents speak to you, you're supposed to put your head down, right? So I didn't know this, so my dad comes in, it was like Christmas, or the day before Christmas. I was like 12 years old. He says, you clean this room. If my dad's watching, I'm sorry, Dad. Or if you end up watching, I'm sorry. But I said, all right. But I was looking at him in the eyes. I said, okay. And he smacked me, right? So I'm thinking in my head, like, all right, he said, clean the room. And I said, okay. And I'm looking him in his eyes, like, what's going on? Are you having a bad day? So I look at him again, and he smacked me again. And I'm like, thinking in my head, like, oh, nah. I can't be going for this. You know, my mom, she was a gang member, and for the first 8 years I lived with her, so I was already kind of programmed to go at being little, that young. So he wanted to smack me again, and I rushed him. And we got into a fight, and he whooped me. And then he went to work, and then I ran away. Oh, yeah, so these glasses right here, right? Someone had stole my prescription glasses, or let me say this, I lost my prescription glasses, you know what I'm saying, and then they just never showed back up. But I got these. Hold on, let me show you these glasses I got. I don't ever use these neither. So, hold on. I kind of don't want to turn them on because they're hooked up to this phone. So hold on, let me hit this button off real quick. Hopefully it don't connect to mess nothing up, right? But it's the Meta Ray-Bans, right? So what I'll do is I can put them on, them off now. Oops, maybe I didn't. No, I did. I turned them off. There's like a camera up here, right? So like when I'm tattooing, I can't do it in these because they're shaded, right? I got to get the prescription in them. But I could actually record. I could take pictures. I could listen to music. I could go live on Facebook or Instagram, right? But I've had these glasses. Look, they're brand new. And I've had them for like 2.5 years, and I've only used them like 3 times. I could be making Meta Ray-Ban videos and stuff. And I know I'm artistic, so I could think outside the box to make some stuff look cool. Like I could get a whole bunch of mirrors and hold the phone up, so then you don't know where I'm recording from. You're thinking I'm recording for the phone, and then when I put the phone down, I'm looking around. People are looking like, well, how's there a camera still? And they're not knowing the camera's up here. You know what I mean? So I don't ever use them though. So I was thinking about giving them away eventually. My dude was asking, he'd be going to poker games. I told him I don't think that's a good idea, but I don't know. But what I was saying though is on the lives, you kind of got to like strategize your lives, and I haven't had the time to sit down and organize that part yet, and I'm still organizing my videos that I'm putting together, strategy with the branding, because you want everything to be consistent, right? I was just looking on Chat GPT, right? And it was explaining to me, let me see, hold on. It was explaining to me how many different channels got took, right? Let me see, hold on. 2, 3, there's 114 million total channels, right? But only like 65 million of them are active. But they got rid of almost like 6 million channels through that update, how they're talking about demonetizing and getting rid of channels. So if you lost any subscribers in like the last couple of days, that might be why. Because if they take their channel, then obviously the people can't be subscribed to you no more. Yeah, all right. So now look. So the glasses, when I start recording, a light comes on. There's a light, right? And so if you go look on Facebook at Meta Ray-Ban glasses, right? There'll be people all the time. Well, not all the time. Every once in a while, they'll be like, "Is there any way I can get the light off these from shining?" And people will be like, "You pervert, you creep." You know what I'm saying? They be going in because why do you need the light off? You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I got them because I was like, oh yeah, I always wish people could see what I could see. But then I wasn't thinking at the time until after I got them, like, hold up. I can't go in the hood with these on. They'll think I'm the police. They'll be like, oh nah, Tantrum's out here recording people. He's the feds now. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, that would definitely kill y'all might not see me no more. I'm not going out like that. So I always watch what I do, right? Like, man, I ain't no feds. But people, one thing for sure, right? I was locked up with a lot of kingpins, right? And there's a lot of kingpins that I was locked up with that didn't take pictures, right? They refused to take pictures, right? Because of that, because of stuff like that. Like, there'll be a group of people that take pictures, and they'll be like, one person will become a rat or some weird stuff. And they'll be like, well, you were in a picture with him. You know what I'm saying? What was that about? But everything in you, snitch. You're funny. So, yeah, so today is going to be a good day. I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to I'm gonna try to make everybody's. I got a list of everyone's channel that I haven't went to in a day or two, and I'm gonna rotate back over there. Try to get y'all as many watch time hours as possible, and then also, right, I'm telling people to put their comments in the in after the live in this section, so then the people that I know, which will probably end up floating back around, you know what I mean? They'll start seeing that my community's building up again, and so a lot of people that subscribe to me ain't content creators, so it's not as many people as I gotta keep up with as you would think, right? There's a lot of subscribers that subscribe because they want to see more Larry Bird, right? So when I resetted my channel, I felt like I was gonna lose a couple thousand subscribers, but I wasn't tripping. You know what I mean? Like the subscriber thing don't matter. Like you only need, for real, you need 100 people that's solid, and they're good to go, right? But the more, the better, right? And you, of course, you gotta have the 1,000 to get over the hump, and YouTube tries to make it hard, right? But we're gonna make it easier for each other, right? And what we're doing is cool and it's consistent, and our tribe of people is pretty cool, right? I floated YouTube for a minute, right? Because before I met like Nemo and Luciana and stuff, I met them right when I was resetting my channel. I was like, you know what? I got so much other things to do. Like a YouTube check ain't where it's at right now, right? I got money to get over here, investments to do over here. But like the dude that interviewed me, we're in the same spot, and I know he makes like $30,000 a month just doing YouTube, right? Like the stuff that he's doing is crazy, and people will be like, well, why don't you ask him to help? Well, because we're in a spot where it was racial, and like I told the little dude that asked me, he was white. I said, if we're in a spot together, I said, you see how me and you are real cool? I said, I'll be like, what's up, bro? You wouldn't be allowed to talk to me, man. You would keep walking like you didn't even hear me, right? Yes, we do have a phenomenal community. Like, I feel like we should get some type of shirts, just like some type of shirt just for our community where we can ship to our loyal people, and then when we go live, like imagine if we all went live from different places, different times, and people keep seeing that shirt like, dang, he got one of them shirts too, you know what I'm saying? He got a shirt like that too, right? And then we brand our own team, right? We'd be the only people on YouTube that got a branded team where we're sending each other, well, that I know of anyways. I can't just make that, I'll be lying if I just said we'll be the only one because I'm not sure. I try to always speak facts, but y'all understand what I'm saying? We build our own brand just for our community. So we'll have our own community, like we'll have our own places in the community, like not certain roles, because like how Luciana said she don't want people with wrenches and stuff. Like everybody's special, but when you think you're the only one special, that's not where it's at. You know, we want to treat everyone how you want to be treated. Treat people with respect, you know what I mean? Integrity. You want people to understand the message, not understand the message. You know what I mean? So I got to get better because it's COVID stuff. I got to get better at getting back out into the community, right? But like I said, people are very disrespectful in the community. And so I try to stay in my own area. I'm more of a house type person, and I control my own area. And so I like that a lot better than being around disrespectful people. It'd be people that are managers at jobs. You go into Burger King, you just, well, I don't know, I haven't been in fast food spots for a long time, but I'm just using it for example, right? You go into Burger King and they mess up your order and you tell them, oh, you messed my order up, and now they're looking at you like you're lying or you're trying to manipulate. I'm like, oh man, I know I get this stereotype, but geez, come on, man, please, like it's a burger, it's a burger. But I don't know. Yeah, we are growing, but so that's why I said everyone in our community. I feel like it's important that we hit that notification bell to that top 20%, right? We hit that notification bell to all. You know what I'm saying? Plus that email list. If you know what I'm saying, we know that today this is what we're doing, throw out the email because they'll contact us in different ways, you know what I'm saying? Plus, we stay on top of each other pretty good, you know what I'm saying? The people show up that want to show up. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are snakes and they show up and they'll be like, I'm here, 1,000+ content creators. But the whole time they're like, shit, I'm just trying to get a couple more subscribers. I just need to make this 1,000. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, dang, right? And then when you go over to people like vidIQ, I don't know if y'all know about vidIQ, but if you go to their channel, vidIQ, they do channel reviews and stuff like that, right? And you look at some of them comments, you could pick up a lot of subscribers from there, right? But I don't like going to other people's channels and spamming, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather just let it come natural, right? So, but you'll see how many people, they'll be like, how many subscribers did you get this week? And someone will be like, 3 people, and I'm very grateful for all 3 of them. I'm like, yes, that's how you're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Because not everyone could just click away. Not everyone got to say, hold up, I like this. Let me go on and click this again, you know what I mean? So let me go on and subscribe and see what he's talking about later, right? And so there was a lot of people that subscribed to my channel when I first started because they thought I was gonna be on some gangster, you know what I'm saying, type stuff. And so I probably let a lot of people down that I'm not the super crip no more. And I just don't self-destruct. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I left my tribe or nothing like that. I don't want no one to think that I just quit gang banging, but I quit gang banging. Like, it's not that hard. Like, I tell the little homies all the time when they're here, imagine if I was still gang banging. I would be killing 16 and 17-year-olds. People wouldn't be looking at me like I was weird, and they looked at me like, yeah, they would. So then I flip it around on them. I said, so now think about your OGs that's out here giving you guns and drugs. You don't think they're weird? And then they get stuck, like they never thought about it before, right? So I use myself as an example. Like, I would be the dummy, right? People would look at me as like a dummy, right? And they'd be like, yeah, well, how come you're not looking at them like they're dummies? So hopefully when they leave my house, they think like, dang, that dude that I look up to, he's a dummy. You know what? Moses is right. Moses is cool, right? Because one thing little dudes do look up to is people that get money, and people that got knowledge and been there and done that. And so I always tell people, you could Google my name. You know, I do got a hell of a history, right? Hell of a history. But I self-destructed as a little kid. I didn't know no better. Like, that's why it's gonna be important for y'all to know parts of my story so y'all can understand why I did the things I did, you know what I'm saying? Because as kids growing up and there's 25, 30 of us and we're all 13 and 14 and our parents don't care. You know what I'm saying? My dad was too busy working and my mom was drinking and doing drugs, gangbanging. So as kids, we had to take care of ourselves. And what did? We learned off each other. Oh yeah, we could go over here and we could eat all their food out of their fridge. So like, man, we were bad little kids, stealing cars and just self-destruction to the fullest. So I feel like it's my obligation to tell the homies, like, all right, I just climbed out this fire, right? It's hot back there. And I see that you're on your way towards this fire. So before you hit this fire, please let me stop and talk to you for a minute. I'm going to be that dude because before I'll be that dude that keep walking like, shh, go on, you got to find out for yourself, little homies. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to listen to me. But once I found out that they do listen to me, because most of the little youngsters don't listen to people, but for some reason they listen to me, right? Most of them do. 90% of them do. Or at least they pretend they do when they leave here. That they're definitely thinking, right? So that's just my mission and my goal, right? To do tattoos, create something even bigger. I tell everyone we could get further. I could get far doing tattoos by myself. 100,000 a year wouldn't be hard at all. I said, but imagine, I told the little homies yesterday, I said, imagine if all 3 of y'all was doing tattoos. You see them people out there? Because there was people out there, right? I said, all 3 of y'all could be doing tattoos while I was doing the tattoo. Instead of me making like $600 today, we could have made $2,000 today as a team. You know what I mean? And then we could have put 500 up and split it 1,500. You know what I'm saying? And if we put $500 up every day for a year. Do you know what kind of businesses we could start and we'd never have to work again? And guess what? They're like, yeah, yeah. Everyone's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But no one's like, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. So I'm like, all right, that's cool, right? So it's the turtle and hare. I don't like asking no one for nothing. So I came up with my own plan. And it was a 10-year plan. But even if I don't get to that million, I'm gonna be close to it. And so I feel like when you got money, you can help people, and then people listen more. If it's a broke bum dude walking down the street talking about change your life, people are like, yeah, all right, how come you didn't change your life? But if you're wealthy and you're telling people, then people tend to listen a little bit more. And that's just what it is. People stereotype. I quit wearing jewelry and gold and stuff because I felt like it attracted the wrong people. It attracted the robbers, the gold diggers, etc. Right? But at the end of the day, I'm starting to think about now, like I kind of miss some of my gold and stuff, and it don't even have nothing to do with attracting the wrong people. It's more like investing in yourself. So instead of having 50 chains and something, I might just get something nice or something like that. But at the end of the day, there's so many other things that I need besides a damn chain. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather put food in somebody's mouth. You know what I'm saying? I try to help someone out every day without being told or showing the world that I'm helping people. Like, oh yeah, let me help you out today. No, I don't do that. If I see something and somebody's struggling, then yeah. And so like when I go out, I always carry a little bit of extra money in one pocket. And once that money's gone, I'm not reaching in my other pocket. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a good heart. I got a good heart, and I don't know how to quit giving. You know what I mean? But one of the last times I regretted giving is I was in the Dollar Tree, and when I go in the Dollar Tree, I always give like the cashier, if it's $12, I'll give them 20, and I'll tell them to make sure that change goes to some little kids that don't have nothing or that might be short at the register. Let them know that you got it, and I'm trusting you with it. And the cashier will be like, okay, all right. Well, last time I went to the Dollar Tree, and I seen this lady, and there was some kids in there, and they needed stuff, and she didn't have no money for real. So I was like, cool, this is what I do. Now I know I could give the money directly. So I walk up to the lady, I'm like, here you go, get your kids something. Oh, I instantly regretted it. She turned around like, I smell money. Oh, the hood rat came out of her. I was like, oh man, I felt so uncomfortable. I never felt so uncomfortable giving somebody something. And then I got sad, right? Because I felt like she was the type of person that no one ever gave her nothing unless they wanted something, you know, in return. And there's so many people like that out here that take advantage of people that are kind of slow. Autism is at an all-time high. When I was a little kid, one in like every 1,000 people were autistic. Now it's like one in every 32. So there's something going on, something in the air, something in our food, something. But have y'all ever seen that Sphere in Las Vegas, the new thing they built? It's like LED lights, and it's like the biggest thing ever. If y'all haven't looked that up, that thing is crazy. Yeah, one in like 32. And Trump says he got his people working on it. I don't want to comment on Trump, right? I got mixed feelings about that cat, but I got mixed feelings about all of them. So yesterday, one of the little homies, they asked me, they said, what is the difference between a Crip and a Blood and a Republican and a Democrat? So I thought they had a joke. So I just looked at them, but they were being serious. They was asking. And I looked at them and I thought about it for a second. And there's really not much of a difference. Really not much of a difference. But the difference that I see is the Crips and Bloods, they kill each other, right? And the Democrats and the Republicans, they fight against each other to see who could be empowered to kill more people. Overthrow that government. Oh, Somalia don't want to pay attention. Get them up out of here. South Africa, up, get them up out of here. Oh, the Haitians don't want to listen, up, get them up out of here. You know what I mean? But I don't want to really go into politics because I don't want no one to feel a certain type of way. But like I said, Trump is a liar. You know what I'm saying? He came on there and he said that the Haitians were eating cats in Ohio, and that little girl is not Haitian. I put it that way. I know that little girl personally. If you go back and watch that video of the little girl eating the cat, the police talk on the phone. They make a couple phone calls. Well, that was my baby mother and my daughter's sister's baby dad, right? And so that little girl grew up in the household, and the police, they took her and threw her straight in jail. And I think it's sick to eat a cat. She was tweaking out, and the dude recording that footage was one of my little homies too. And I feel like cussing him out, because why didn't you stop your homegirl? You're sitting there recording. What is wrong with people? I don't know if you saw the video I tagged you in on my post. Oh, so look, I got your name written down right here too, Rising. I didn't get to get on the computer. Like I was running on no energy. Like I had only slept like 3 hours in like maybe 40 hours. And I'm studying, trying to get tags together. I'm sitting over there typing. And then, you know, when you go to tag somebody, if you just copy and paste, then you got to reverse and then slowly type their name in. Man, I had like 80 names. I'm like, I bet I don't type in no damn 80 names. I said, I'm about to just get a couple of people here and there. I'm going to start, the people that I write down on these cards that constantly show, that's who I'm going to do that for, right? And then if any of y'all do need help, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I just give money away, and I don't know how that works and stuff on YouTube. You don't want to just start a channel like, this is a cash giveaway. No. You know what I'm saying? But I know the ones in this group. Whether y'all know it or not, I watch more than what y'all think I watch. Even when I go to sleep, I put y'all stuff on the TV and I lay there and I listen even when I can't comment, right? So I'm learning everybody, because like I'm writing stories like the turtle and the hare. You got to know what everyone does in the group, right? You know, the next one is the stone soup, right? And so, you know, I got to have a part for everyone. Like I Cherish Church might have her own church, right? In the back, she got a big gardener, right? With all the vegetables, right? And then there might be other people in our group, you know what I'm saying, that's back there, that's gardeners too, helping our church, you know what I'm saying? There's people giving food away. So that's just one little thought of part of the story, right? I just got to bring my imagination to life. Oh yeah, the source is cool, man. I like the source, man. The source, he gives a lot of good advice, and if he sees you need help, he's there for you, man. He's creative too. I gotta see what's going on with his will and stuff too. But yeah, that's a creative dude, man. Good guy. You know what I mean? Like if I went to Hawaii, that's where like if I told my twin brother Hawaii, my twin brother would be like, oh no, my twin brother, he was on drugs. Little dude, he was on drugs in Hawaii, and he didn't have a good experience in Hawaii. Me, I'd have been like, aloha, if I was single. But I'm not. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to have fun. Yeah, so there's people in this city that didn't know I had a twin. And I've been in this city for 20 years, and everyone in this city, so when he be in Walmart, they be like, everyone knows me as Moses, right, or Tantrum, right? They be like, Moses, or Tantrum, right? And I'm not married. I've been with my girl for 9 years, right? We've been together for 9 years. And she got her own room. My twin brother got his own room. My daughter got her own room when she's here. And then the living room and the studio, this is my room because my dog, I got him a little fat, and I don't want him to fall down the stairs. My last trip that I planned, I was going to go to Vegas, but instead of going to Vegas, I took my money and I spent it on my dog. I had to buy steps, pay someone to do steps. Yeah, 9 years is a long time to be with someone, but I even think like, if I was like to cheat, that would like break my heart. Like the little lady does what she can, and we argue like any couple, you know what I'm saying? But we kind of don't argue, because if we see an argument coming, we just go our own ways. She ain't dealing with me, and I ain't dealing with her. Yeah, that's how it was for me. I had never been with no one longer than 5 years, right? And for some reason, when I got with my girlfriend I had like 6 girlfriends that I was, well, not 6 girlfriends, I had 6 people I was speaking to, right? Like, so I don't want you to think I was like humping them and stuff like that. No, 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 no. I was just talking to like 6 people, right? But out of all the 6 people, she was the only one that had like my best intentions. You know what I'm saying? Like, other females want you to fight for them, put you in all kinds of bull crap. Her, she's like, nah, I don't want you to drink. You know what I mean? Etc. You know, like, she helped me and my dog helped me. My dog is my best friend, y'all. I never thought I could even love an animal the way I love an animal. But he's like a big teddy bear. Like, man, everyone loves him. Like, people be like, can I have him? Can I have him? And I swear, I promise y'all, and y'all might think I'm lying, but I promise y'all, if someone came in here right now and offered me $1 million for my dog, it's not happening. They wouldn't know how to take care of him. They wouldn't know how to feed him. This dude is huge, and he's hand-fed every meal. Valentine, how you doing? Happy Friday. Happy Friday, sir. Hope you're having a good day, man. But yeah, I would not trade my dog for the world, man. So that's not a good thing because I'm too attached. You shouldn't be that attached to nothing, you know what I mean? But that's my little buddy's in there snoring. I told him to get him some cheeseburgers today. He don't eat healthy. He don't eat dog food. And he's hand-fed every meal. He's bougie. Like, when I say bougie, he's bougie. Like, he got his own bed, but he's on the couch. He got his own Christmas tree. Like, he got his friends. Like, I wanted to do a YouTube channel about him, but if something happens, then the channel dies, and nah, I don't want to do that. I seen the dog Chooch, right? He was a TikTok dog, and the Hulk passed away last month. Not talking about Hulk Hogan. He died the day before yesterday. Rest in peace. But I wasn't really a big Hulk Hogan fan. I was more an Andre the Giant, Undertaker type dude. But there were dark vibes. Now that I look at it, man, and I was always the type to wear like bright colors, like different color shoestrings, and like I could take a pair of Dadas, some cheap shoes, and make them look good back in the days. People be like, man, them are cool. I'm like, yeah, for sure. I try not to get caught up in the materialistic stuff, right? Because I know there's so many other people that are hungry that need stuff. I'm trying to stay all the way away from that video game. Like I said, I try to, when I'm taking a break because my typing, I can't type as fast because I almost cut my fingers off doing yard work last November. That would have been bad, right? So I just pay I pay people to do my yard now. I'm not. And I used to like doing yard work, right? I'm not using saws and none of that. Cut my finger off. I like my fingers. I'd rather just pay somebody. I'll be the tattoo guy and they can be the gardener. How about that? But, all right, everyone. I'm about to get off. I've been on here an hour. Lost track of time a little bit. I appreciate every last one of y'all showing up, man. I'm writing the names down that came. Make sure you comment after, and then let's just keep building the community up. I know everyone needs a little bit of help, y'all, so I'm here to help y'all. If y'all need some help, if y'all want to learn anything, or if y'all lacking on anything, if y'all want to learn how to do thumbnails, I could always go live and do stuff on my computer. I could show you how to do the new talking, the things that are going viral. Whatever's going viral, I can show y'all how to do them. And if it costs a little bit of money, who cares? But God bless y'all, and I hope to see y'all soon. I'm gonna be showing up to y'all's channels. I got the whole list of my people, right? The top 20%, right? There's not too many of y'all, so I can keep up. I promise y'all I could. Have a blessed day, everyone.